Chapter 1. My name is Rex. Rex, as he was commonly called, was a clone trooper from the genetic template of the bounty hunter Jango Fett. He was born on Kamino around the year 32 BBY. However, some modifications were made to Fett's DNA, making the clones grow faster and more submissive. Every clone trooper has a designated code name or clone designation number, and Rex's was CT-7567. On Kamino, he received training and was among the first batches of clones made on the planet. Rex's was designated to have some inherent leadership abilities, which made him unique among his peers, causing him to be taken through a higher grade of training, which was a more intensive learning and command training to further develop his skills. Rex began his journey as a clone trooper squad leader at the Battle of Geonosis in 22 BBY, and successfully survived the battle and took control over Geonosis with his brothers. But obviously this was only the beginning of the leading roles Captain Rex would be bestowed. The Battle of Geonosis was the opening battle for the Clone Wars. Based on the continuation of his Grand Army service, Rex swore to defend all Republic citizens from harm, an oath of his loyalty to the Republic state. This would lead him to serve alongside numerous and reputable Jedi generals, and because he trusted their leadership, he became a reliable and indispensable soldier to them. CT-7567 was dauntless and driven in battle. This further made him distinct and earned him a position among the 100 clone officers who would be called back to Kamino for a specialized command training, the ARC training program. The program was overseen by Advanced Recon Commando Alpha, under whom Rex and his fellow trainees would be extensively drilled to improve their individuality, proactiveness, and initiative skills. It was in this program that Rex would become friends with CC-2224, a martial commander named Cody. One of the rewards they received for their individualism was their names. Cody and Rex would go on to fight in the same battles, with some of the notable ones being the Battle of Tiburon, a battle so fierce that even the Jedi could not stop the attacks of the Separatist army. Chapter 2. The Elite 501st Legion. The Battle of Geonosis continued, but this would become a time where Rex would earn the respect of more Jedi officers as well as his peers. He was given the rank of Clone Trooper Captain and awarded the battle honor of Mandalorian Jag Eyes by the Mandalorian veterans who trained him on Kamino, a mark he bore proudly on his helmet. Within the same period, an elite squad of clone soldiers was forged. They were called the 501st Legion. Their training was far beyond any regular clone trooper training. These soldiers were the ones you called for missions that only a few others could survive, achieving victory even in the most unlikely of battles. They were combat efficient and tactically superior to any other units. And guess who was made their leader? Rex! He was the commander of the elite group, leading them on missions around the galaxy, especially the lawless Outer Rim regions. Within the 501st Legion was also an elite group called the Torrent Company. In battle, they employed machines such as the AT-TE walkers and heavy artillery cannons. Of course, they were led by Captain Rex, but they were also under the overall command of the Jedi General Anakin Skywalker. Skywalker had accepted this role after his appointment as a Jedi Knight weeks prior to the war. On an astronomical object called Arantara, while fighting the Separatist army, Rex was badly injured, and his armor was severely damaged. Struggling for his life and in pain, he later woke to find Skywalker standing before him. Surprised and bewildered, Rex asked Skywalker why he would return for a clone trooper like himself. Skywalker's response would lead to a mutual respect between them, as he said that it should have been him in Rex's place, that a leader always leads from the front. Chapter 3. Second in command to Skywalker. On the front lines of battle, Rex would always be seen with Skywalker. They had become friends, and Rex would learn a number of military and operational tactics from him. Hence, they became known for employing unconventional tactics, using them to their advantage to secure victory over the Separatist army. With their numerous victories, the 501st became popular and renowned under the leadership of Skywalker and Rex. This caught the attention of the Supreme Chancellor Palpatine, as he observed how the soldiers easily and submissively followed through with the unconventional strategies of Skywalker that yielded positive results. The 501st Legion expanded and grew in number into different units based on the order given by the Chancellor. These units were secretly trained and taken to different parts of the galaxy to fight against their relentless enemies. Rex further increased his group of friends, which, apart from Cody, now included Denal, a member of the 501st Legion, Boomer, an advanced recon force sergeant, and the Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, Cody's Jedi General. Chapter 4. The People of Christophsis. It was still the early stages of the Clone Wars. Master Kenobi and Skywalker were on a mission to save and set free the people of Christophsis. The people of Christophsis were composed of different species: Carcoidans, Rhodians, and lower caste humans. The Confederacy of Independent Systems and its retail caucus conglomerate had come to the planet to upset their peace by forcing them to submit to their rule. On their way to Christophsis, Rex, Kenobi, Skywalker, and Cody were aboard the Venator Republic attack cruiser, when Rex spots a holographic broadcast by Worm Loathsome, general of the Retail Caucus's military forces of the Separatists, who led the invasion of the once peaceful Christophsis. When the Republic forces landed, they swiftly defeated the Confederate Admiral Trench's naval blockade, as Admiral Trench was also on the planet to assist General Worm Loathsome in taking over the planet. Crystal City was the capital of Christophsis, and Kenobi and Skywalker decided to gather a small unit that would be led by Rex and Cody to ambush the Confederacy. This genius plan was to reduce the strength of their troops, and it would begin by intercepting the enemy's droid battalion, which was set to march through a major plaza below a business complex. On the two north and south-facing towers of the business complex, Rex, Skywalker, Kenobi, and Cody had positioned their men. They also had a clone trooper sergeant by the name Slick with them. To their surprise, Kenobi's men on the south side of the tower were suddenly ambushed by B-1 series battle droids. In an attempt to reinforce Kenobi and Cody, Rex and Skywalker used their blaster rifle cables to rappel over to the south tower of the business complex, eventually helping their fellow comrades to escape with the tactical droid's cranial unit. The unit was retrieved by Gus, a member of Sergeant Slick's squad, and Rex and Cody decided to examine it through a robotomy in their command center. Their findings revealed that the Confederacy had long been aware of their plan, suggesting that a spy was among them. While Kenobi and Skywalker conducted their investigation behind enemy lines, Rex and Cody were ordered to remain behind to uncover and capture the mole in their ranks. As Rex and Cody maintained an unsuspecting yet vigilant demeanor, Cody discovered a comlink on a table among the troops' equipment. This confirmed that someone had been eavesdropping on their conversation with the Jedi generals. Suddenly, Rex noticed movement down the hallway. He and Cody gave chase, pursuing the figure through the base and into the clone troopers' mess hall, only to discover that the figure was Sergeant Slick, the traitor in their midst. Slick, without much thought to the question asked by Rex and Cody to everyone on his team, revealed that he knew where the Jedi generals were, information that could only have reached him if he had a comlink at the command center. Rex and Cody chased him back to the command center, where they used a clever strategy to draw Slick out of hiding, disarm him, and present him to the Jedi generals upon their arrival. His fellow clone officers also rebuked him for his actions and for putting his brothers in harm's way, for he claimed that his betrayal was born out of love for them, believing they were being enslaved. The fight to liberate Christophsis continued as General Worm Loathsome had his droid army march against the Republic forces. Anakin Skywalker, accompanied by Rex and men, faced Octoptara tri-droids, causing Loathsome's army to retreat. Shortly after, a new class attack shuttle landed on Crystal City's Central Plaza, and within the shuttle was a young Padawan by the name Ahsoka Tano, recently apprenticed to Jedi Master Anakin Skywalker. However, Skywalker and Kenobi had been expecting reinforcement. Rex gets introduced to Tano as Skywalker's new Padawan, but Skywalker never wanted an apprentice. With Ahsoka Tano's jovial and expressive personality, she forges the name Sky Guy for her master, which Rex found funny and was later instructed by Skywalker to show her around as commanding officer. As they continued fighting the Confederate forces battle droids, Rex had many in his team taken out, and had to fall back to protect their cannons. The battle ended with Rex ordering the cannons to be fired at the Confederate tanks. This victory would lead to many more, strengthening the bond between Rex, Cody, and their Jedi generals. Chapter 5. Battle of Teth. In the midst of several ongoing battles, Jabba the Hutt, a leading crime lord on the Outer Rim world of Tatooine, agreed to grant the Republic access to hyperspace lanes running through Hutt-controlled space if they helped him rescue his son Rata from enemy kidnappers. Assigned to this mission were Skywalker, Kenobi, Tano, and Captain Rex with the Torrent Company. They were alerted by advanced recon force trooper scouts that the Huttlet Rata was being held hostage on the planet Teth, inside a cliff-top monastery heavily guarded by battle droids. It was evident that the Separatists were behind the kidnapping. The Republic forces fought their way up the cliffs using ATTE walkers. Upon gaining entry into the monastery, Rex and a select team of troopers accompanied Skywalker and Tano to recover Rata. When they retrieved the Huttlet, they prepared to leave the planet, but Tano noticed that he was ill, forcing them to find another solution before evacuation. Suddenly, they were attacked by Vulture droid starfighters and surrounded by numerous battle droids, causing Rex and Skywalker to be separated from Tano and the Huttlet. Skywalker, too, was eventually separated from Rex and his men as they retreated back into the monastery. Rex soon came face-to-face with Asajj Ventress, a Sith apprentice and Separatist leader, after most of his troopers had been gunned down by battle droids. She attempted to use a mind trick on Rex to extract the location of his Jedi General, but Rex's training allowed him to resist her manipulation, rendering her efforts futile. Enraged, Ventress hurled him aside. To avoid detection by nearby droids, Rex pretended to be unconscious. He later contacted his surviving men and was able to reach Skywalker without being noticed. His squad intercepted and fought off the remaining battle droids, even managing to bring down the Vulture droid starfighter. Shortly after, Kenobi arrived with Commander Cody and the 212th Attack Battalion to assist Rex and Skywalker. Kenobi also engaged Asajj Ventress in combat. Meanwhile, Skywalker and Tano eventually took off aboard an old spice freighter to return the cherished Huttlet to his father, Jabba the Hutt, successfully completing their mission and securing victory on Teth. However, Rex shared with his friend Cody his frustration and pain over the loss of members of the Torrent Company. Cody responded by reminding him that the lives and efforts of those soldiers had not been for nothing. Chapter 6: Battle of Mimban. On Mimban, a swamp planet in the Sarkarpus sector of the galaxy's expansion region, Rex and his troops, the 501st Legion alongside the 224th Clone Division's Mud Jumpers, fought under the leadership of Jedi General Lon Tik against the Confederate Army. The Confederacy had come to subjugate the Mimbanese under Separatist rule. In response, the Republic soldiers decided to train Lacento's tribe, a Mimbanese group led by their tribal leader, Lacento. Jar Jar Binks, a junior representative of the Republic, was also sent to Mimban to interact with the people and their leader. Unfortunately, during the fight between the Republic and Separatist forces, General Tik was killed. This forced Rex and his troops to fall back, leaving Representative Binks as the next in command, despite his complete lack of combat experience. Within their camp, Captain Rex briefed his troopers on the location of the droid's shield generator and his plan to contact command for an exfiltration shuttle to extract his men. However, his plan appeared suicidal to the others, as he would have to cross a wide range of battle droids to succeed. Determined nonetheless, Captain Rex set out, accompanied by one of his troopers and Representative Binks. As the three approached the shield's generator location, they encountered a group of battle droids. Rex fought valiantly but was shot by one of them and quickly defended by Representative Binks, who used General Tik's lightsaber to fend off the attackers. For Binks' own safety, Captain Rex took the lightsaber from the inexperienced representative and continued his mission to destroy the deflector shield generator, while Binks wielded his DC-15A blaster rifle to hold off more battle droids. Chapter 7: The Rishi Moon Experience. On an inspection tour in the tracking station at Pastil with Cody, Captain Rex aboard the new class transport Obex heads to the Rishi Moon station. Before landing, Rex contacts the station but notices the reluctance of the trooper to have them carry out their inspection. To add to this strange response, a trooper approached them after landing, telling them the base was fine and that they could leave. Captain Rex then demanded to be taken to the sergeant in command, upon which he heard the trooper say, "Roger, Roger," and then a droid attack flare was fired. Immediately, Rex realizes that the supposed clone trooper before him was a droid and shot it in the head. While removing the helmet worn by the droid to unveil its true identity, Rex and Cody were attacked by commando droids. The two clone trooper officers fled the scene as they shot back at the droids and later found the surviving troops on Rishi Moon, Fives, Echo, and Heavy. Rex and Cody first ordered the troopers to remove their helmets to confirm their identities. Just as they did, a Rishi eel attacked them, but with a precise bullseye shot, Rex hit the creature in its eye. The three surviving troopers were impressed, and Rex quickly detected that they were shinies. In other words, they had never fought in battle before. Echo then informed the two clone officers that their sergeant had been killed when the battle droids first attacked. After creating and presenting a plan to act like a malfunctioning droid to the Shinies, the new clone troopers Rex wanted to give a taste of battle, and to Cody, Rex proceeded to interact with the droids and persuaded them to open the door so they could gain access to the command center. The dim-witted droids complied, allowing Rex, Cody, and the other clones to enter. However, they were unable to contact the Republic fleet. Rex then devised another plan, to blow up the station so the Republic fleet would be alerted and sent to investigate. The others joined in on his plan, holding off the battle droids while Rex rigged the gas detonators. As the remote detonator failed to work, Heavy decided to stay back so he could set the gas off manually. Though the others tried to go back for him, Heavy would eventually blow himself up along with the station. A Republic gunship appears afterwards, rescuing the clone troopers. Captain Rex, upon this experience, would welcome Echo and Fives into the 501st Legion, as they also received awards for their bravery. Chapter 8: Faline's Fall and the Astromech Spy on Bothawui. The Republic suffered a heavy loss after a tragic battle on Faline. The inhabitants of Faline had once pledged their allegiance to the Separatists, but later defected to join the Republic. However, the people of Faline would face the Separatists again after a campaign led by General Grievous, the Kaleesh warlord and commanding officer of the Separatist droid army, who launched a ruthless offensive against the inhabitants, wiping out the entire Republic battle groups stationed on the planet. It was an unfortunate defeat among the many suffered by the Republic, which once again brought Faline under the rule of the Confederacy of Independent Systems. Yet this victory was not enough for General Grievous, whose next target in his malevolent campaign was Bothawui. Bothawui, a gas planet in the galaxy's mid-rim, soon became the next battleground. Rex, Skywalker, and Tano were deployed to defend it. Rex and his team positioned their ATTEs across the planet's surrounding asteroids. When General Grievous's fleet attacked, Rex's ATTE division and Skywalker's forces opened fire. Skywalker's starfighter was damaged in the assault, prompting Rex to intervene swiftly and save him. Soon after, Skywalker began searching for General Grievous's hidden spy station, and once again, Rex rescued both Skywalker and Ahsoka after detecting his tracking signal. As Skywalker searches for the listening post, Rex, Denal, and their squad accompany him to destroy the station in the Ruusan system. During the mission, Skywalker also begins searching for R2-D2, his astromech droid, while Rex, Ahsoka, R3, and their troopers are assigned to destroy the station's reactors. There, they are accosted by General Grievous himself, who wipes out all the troopers except Rex and Denal. Before the general made his move to strike Rex, who was pinned down and unconscious, Ahsoka jumped in, saving Rex just in the nick of time. Following Ahsoka's orders, Rex and Denal proceed to complete the mission while she confronts the Separatist leader. The two troopers succeed and reunite with Skywalker in the landing bay, only to discover that R3 was a spy. The treacherous astromech droid summons super battle droids and vulture droids to stop them, though its efforts ultimately fail. Skywalker succeeds as well in rescuing R2, and Ahsoka later joins him and Rex aboard the Twilight. Chapter 9: From Quell to Maridun. Jedi General Aayla Secura and her clone commander Bly required backup on landing on Quell as they engaged Separatist battle droids in combat. Skywalker, Tano, and Admiral Wolf Yularen were dispatched to assist the Jedi General and her clone officer. Rex would later join them on this mission. The Republic forces fought against a line of rocket-equipped super battle droids, but Skywalker was injured in an explosion aboard Secura's already damaged cruiser. Rex, Tano, Secura, Bly, Skywalker, and clone troopers Cameron, Lucky, and Flash escaped aboard a transport vessel, but were struck before entering hyperspace, and crash-landed on Maridun. Maridun was a planet in the Outer Rim territories known for its tall grasses, dangerous predators, and large seed pods. It was home to Lurman refugees, a small, peace-bound, and pacifistic species. On this planet, Rex looked after his injured friend and Jedi General, while the rest of the group searched for help wherever they could find it. As Rex tended to Skywalker, he was attacked by Mastiff Fallones, non-sentient carnivorous creatures. Rex managed to kill one of them, but the other charged at him. Fortunately, Tano and a Lurman healer named Wag-2 arrived just in time to help. Wag-2 led the Republic forces to his village, where he used oil from a seed pod to treat Skywalker's wounds. While Rex remained vigilant, he spotted a Separatist landing ship approaching the village and alerted Bly. The two clone troopers escaped before the ship landed with battle droids. Wag-2 kept Skywalker and his comrades hidden as General Lock Durd, a Separatist general, searched the village for weapons or any sign of the Republic. After the Separatists departed, Wag-2 tried to persuade his father, the village leader, to allow the people to defend themselves against the Separatist army. However, his father refused, maintaining that the Lurmen were a peace-bound people who wanted nothing to do with the war between the Separatists and the Republic. General Durd had also come to Maridun to test a new weapon, the Defoliator, a modified armored assault tank designed to destroy organic life while leaving machines untouched. That is, the Separatist rust-for-brain droids. Rex and Bly observed the test from afar, but fled when the weapon's shockwave approached. The Republic forces soon devised a plan to infiltrate General Durd's base. They stole a shuttle and shield generators, and returned to construct a defensive wall to withstand the Separatist droid army, though Chief Tiwat Ka, Wag-2's father, disapproved of their actions. When the Separatists attacked, Rex and Bly activated the shields against the Defoliator's blast. The clone troopers fought bravely as the droids breached the barrier, destroying parts of it in the process. At that point, the Lurmen, led by Wag-2, finally joined the battle, helping the Republic forces by knocking down the droid army and ultimately capturing General Durd. Shortly afterward, as Rex prepared to take Durd into custody, Republic cruisers arrived to extract the Jedi generals and clone troopers from the, once again, peaceful world of Maridun. Chapter 10. The Tals, Naboo, and Ryloth. While on an investigation-focused venture with Generals Kenobi and Skywalker, alongside Pantoran Senator Ryo Chuchi and Chairman Chi Cho, Rex and his troopers were surrounded by the Tal species on the frigid planet of Orto, Plutonia. The mission began when the Republic forces accompanied the Pantoran Senator and her chairman to investigate the Glid Station, a Republic military outpost on their planet, in an attempt to discover what happened to the troopers assigned there. Rex followed his Jedi generals to a nearby Separatist outpost, where they discovered a hologram showing a creature attacking battle droids. Upon returning to the station, Rex and his troops joined the Jedi generals, Senator Chuchi and Chairman Cho, to meet with Thai Sen, the chief and leader of the Tal species. However, Chairman Cho decided to attack the Tals, and Rex was ordered to protect him even as the Jedi chose not to interfere. Being a good soldier who answered to the Republic Senate alone and trained to follow orders, Rex nevertheless did not oppose the chairman. The chairman was eventually gravely wounded, leading to the Tals surrounding Rex and his troops, who later retreated while carrying the chairman with them. On a nearby cliff, while awaiting the arrival of Skywalker, Kenobi, and Senator Chuchi, Rex organized a defensive perimeter with his men as the Tals began to hurl spears at them. The fight came to an end after both sides recognized the casualties they had suffered, but Chairman Cho later died from the severity of his injuries. The Battle of Orto Plutonia concluded when Senator Chuchi peacefully negotiated with the Tals and transferred control of Orto Plutonia to them. On Naboo, it was discovered that a Separatist doctor by the name Nuvo Vindi, a mentally unstable male Faust doctor, was recreating the Blue Shadow virus with the help of the insane genetic terrorist Zeta Magnus. The Blue Shadow virus was known to be responsible for the Kandorian plague that spread across the galaxy years before the Clone Wars, but was later eradicated and contained through strict quarantines. The mentally unstable doctor made a rehashed version of the virus, as he designed it to be spread airborne and not through water, which was the medium by which it devastated the galaxy several generations ago. Skywalker, Kenobi, Tano, along with Rex and troops, were sent to Naboo to stop Dr. Nuvo Vindi from deploying bombs filled with the airborne virus. The mission was simple: infiltrate Vindi's lab. Rex and Tano fought off battle droids after Kenobi and the clones' bomb squad came to their rescue, as they were attacked by two droidicas. Dr. Vindi had planned to detonate the bombs in different key locations of the Republic star systems, prompting Kenobi to split up along with his bomb squad to find the virus bombs. Rex and Ahsoka later ran into Skywalker, Senator Padme Amidala, and Representative Jar Jar Binks. Skywalker had gone to rescue the Senator and the Representative, who were held hostage by the mad and evil Dr. Vindi. The Republic forces tried to split up to find Dr. Vindi's LEP servant droid after Skywalker informs them that one of the active bombs was missing. Rex and Tano fought their way through the Doctor's lab, and Senator Amidala and Binks reported that they had recovered the missing bomb from the Mad Doctor's droid. However, unknown to them, the droid had removed the vial of the virus and unleashed the bomb in the room. They were able to prevent the virus from spreading into Naboo, but the virus infected Rex, Tano, and Amidala, and some clone troopers. Among the clone troopers as well were soldiers who did not make it. Skywalker and Kenobi were able to find an antidote to neutralize the virus and save their comrades, the Rixa root from the planet Lego. The planet Ryloth was known for its jungles, valleys, mesas, and volcanoes. It was inhabited by the Twi'leks, also called Rylothians. Rex, Tano, Skywalker, and Yularen were sent to the planet after the Confederacy had subdued its people with the help of the Techno-Union. Their mission was to destroy the Separatist blockade surrounding the planet, allowing the Republic invasion force led by Kenobi and Mace Windu to gain easy passage. During Skywalker and Tano's first attack on the blockade, Separatist reinforcements forced the Star Destroyers Resolute and Defender to retreat. The Republic's third Venator-class Star Destroyer, the Redeemer, came under heavy fire and was destroyed before it could withdraw. Tano lost most of her Blue Squadron men, and Admiral Yularen was badly injured. Rex assisted Skywalker and Tano in sending an update to Master Windu, as Tano was heartbroken and distraught over the loss of her squadron, while Yularen was taken to the medbay. Skywalker's new plan to break the blockade involved using the Defender to crash into the Separatist lead ship. He ordered the Defender evacuated and prepared to pilot it himself, while Tano took command of the Resolute. Captain Rex joined her aboard the ship, though he doubted the plan's success. To support Skywalker's assault and protect the Resolute, Tano decided to employ the Marg Sable maneuver, a tactic where a ship charges at high speed toward an enemy vessel and, at the last moment, turns its hull to shield its fighters as they launch a flanking attack. Enemy commanders unfamiliar with the maneuver often reacted too slowly to counter it. Although Rex and the ship's naval officers were uncertain about the strategy, Yularen, still recovering, endorsed Tano's decision. Her plan worked flawlessly. She and her bombers destroyed the remaining Confederacy forces. With the blockade defeated, Kenobi and Windu landed on Ryloth with their troops to liberate Lesu, the planet's capital, and captured Wat Tambor, the Techno-Union foreman responsible for leading the Separatist invasion. Chapter 11. From Felucia to the Hunt for Cad Bane. Captain Rex was selected again to defend another planet with its people. He joined his Jedi generals Skywalker, Tano, Kenobi, and Cody on the mission to the planet Felucia. Felucia was a jungle planet occupied by an amphibious sentient species. The Republic forces fought against the droid army of the Separatists, launching heavy strikes. Rex and his team were soon surrounded by the overwhelming swarm of battle droids, which made them retreat, but Jedi General Plo Koon appeared, leading Republic gunships just in time to evacuate and save the troopers. Rex and Cody once again led their men against the battle droids, returning heavy fire at the relentless enemy. Tano, who was leading another group of Republic forces, was later retrieved by her masters Skywalker and Kenobi. However, the strong-willed and determined Tano firmly refused to retreat. Skywalker succeeded in forcing his apprentice to retreat by positioning the gunships between her team and the droid army. As Rex and Tano lifted off from the battlefield, the droids destroyed their remaining ground vehicles. Rex, Tano, and Skywalker soon embarked on another mission to stop a bounty hunter on Deveron, Cad Bane, a mercenary considered to be as skilled as the legendary Jango Fett. Bane had recently stolen the Kyber memory crystal from Jedi Master Bolo Rapal, who was its keeper. The Kyber memory crystal was an information-rich crystal belonging to the Jedi Order. It contained the identities of all known Force-sensitive children in the galaxy. To the Jedi, it was a treasured device that held the key to their future. When the Resolute arrived on Deveron, Cad Bane had already held Master Bolo Rapal hostage, coercing him to grant him access to the Kyber crystal. Bane's command ship's hyperdrive was immediately disabled by shots from the Resolute. Rex led his troops to use the available ATTE walkers as landing craft, as proposed by Skywalker. He provided covering fire for both Skywalker and Tano to destroy oncoming Vulture droid starfighters. The astromech droid, R2-D2, provided access to Cad Bane's command ship, the frigate, but when Rex and his troopers entered the vessel, there was no trace of the bounty hunter anywhere. R2-D2 later found a holographic recording of Bane's conversation with Trade Federation Viceroy Newt Gunray, and alerted Rex, Skywalker, and Tano that the crystal and the holocron were now in Bane's possession. Bane would activate a self-destruct sequence as Rex, Skywalker, and Tano searched for Rapal on his ship, but Tano later found the Jedi Master dead in one of the holding cells. Rex found Cad Bane fleeing and pursued him along with his men, but Cad Bane lured them to a detachment of battle droids. After fighting the droids, Rex sent Denal and Koho, troopers on his team, to assist Jedi General Skywalker and Tano on their pursuit of Cad Bane. But the bounty hunter had killed the troopers and pretended to be Denal. He, Cad Bane, wearing Denal's armor, reported that he had not retrieved the holocron from Bane. Before the bounty hunter eliminated Denal, the clone trooper had shot him, causing Bane to leave traces of green blood, which was later discovered by Rex. The clone commanding officer and Skywalker later realized that the Denal they had thought they were having conversations with was Cad Bane. Skywalker made attempts to stop him on a stolen starfighter, but the bounty hunter escaped. The Jedi later recovered the stolen holocron from Cad Bane's hideout. Chapter 12: The Coruscant Infiltrator and Zillo Beast. On Coruscant, Rex, who accompanied Skywalker and Tano on a mission, was sent to deliver a priority message from the Jedi High Council to Jedi General Keelivine Roos, her apprentice Tyson Zebek, Clone Commander Ganch, and Agricultural Corps worker Sanya, who had just arrived aboard the Star Destroyer Selfless. Rex informed Roos and Zebek that they were to report to the Jedi Temple under Master Yoda's instruction. Later, Captain Rex introduced Ganch and Sanya to Cody as they gathered for a drink at the service organization's headquarters. Not long after, Sanya noticed that the chairs were wired with detonite charges. Under Cody's supervision, the detonators were successfully disabled. However, during the process, a worker hastily left the building, making her the primary suspect. Commander Ganch and Sanya attempted to capture her, but she fled the scene too quickly. Ganch and Roos were deployed shortly after their experience at the service organization's headquarters. Accompanying Skywalker, Windu, and Commander Pons to oversee the Republic's defense of the planet Malastare, which was under heavy attack, Rex was ordered to shore up the fortifications of the Doge's palace. Doge Naka Urus, leader of the Dugs, a sentient species that walked using their arms, welcomed their aid. Chancellor Palpatine had just authorized the use of the electro-proton bomb, a weapon capable of deactivating the entire Separatist droid army. The bomb was developed by Dr. Sionver Ball, a female Bival scientist. When the bomb was detonated, Rex positioned himself along the palace's defense lines to direct his troopers. He monitored the droid army with electro-binoculars and coordinated with units of insectomorph-mounted Dug Cavaliers. With the help of a starfighter squadron, the electro-proton bomb was dropped among the droid army, causing a massive explosion that unleashed a powerful electromagnetic pulse. This not only disabled the droids, but also temporarily disrupted the helmet systems of the clone troopers. The explosion created a massive sinkhole, and Rex nearly fell in, but his comrades pulled him to safety. Rex later joined Skywalker, Windu, Urus, R2-D2, and Dr. Ball at the Doge's palace. After a holographic meeting with Palpatine to report the status of the fuel treaty with the Dug Council, Windu and Skywalker departed to assist the rescue team with whom Rex had lost contact inside the crater. That night, Skywalker, Windu, Ball, and Rex convened again to brief Palpatine about an enormous snake-like creature that had been awakened by the bomb. The creature, known as the Zillo Beast, stood 97 meters tall, with a whip-like spiked tail, an impervious hide, and even a third arm protruding from its back. It was the last of its kind. Unlike the Jedi who sought to preserve it, the Dugs wanted the beast destroyed. Skywalker proposed a plan to render the creature unconscious and transport it off-world. Rex played a significant role in recapturing the indestructible reptilian creature and transporting it to Coruscant. Chapter 13: Second Battle of Geonosis. Following reports received by the Republic that the leader of the Stalgassan Hive, Poggle the Lesser, Archduke of Geonosis, had rebuilt a major battle droid foundry for the Separatists on his planet, Rex and a group of his 501st troopers were once again sent to Geonosis. Rex soon discovered that the Geonosians had not only rebuilt one droid foundry, but were constructing several others. He immediately reported this to the Jedi High Council, which authorized a massive invasion force against the Geonosians, as their actions were deemed a revolt. Skywalker, Kenobi, Tano, Ki-Adi-Mundi, and Luminara Unduli later joined Rex on Geonosis. Aboard a Star Destroyer, Rex, Cody, and Mundi's clone commander planned the assault alongside their Jedi generals. Rex, Skywalker, and Tano led the first wave aboard Lat-I gunships and Lat carriers. However, their ships came under heavy fire from the Geonosian surface artillery and Nantex-class starfighter squadrons. Crashing near a swarm of Geonosian warriors, Rex, Skywalker, and Tano regrouped, and Rex reaching out to Kenobi for reinforcement. Unfortunately, Kenobi's gunship had also crashed, leaving them to push forward with the forces they had. Skywalker and Tano each took a pack of thermal detonators to collapse a wall and clear a path toward the Ray Shield Fortress, codenamed Point Rain, while Rex led the clone troopers, destroying one of the enemy cannons and gunning down the battle droids along the wall. Rex later assisted Skywalker and Tano in eliminating a pair of droidicas before advancing to Point Rain, where they linked up with Mundi and his squad to support Cody and Kenobi, who were under heavy assault from the defiant Geonosians. Skywalker, Tano, and a group of clone troopers disabled the enemy's blaster cannons with EMP grenades, while Rex, Mundi, and Jet led the main assault on the Ray Shield Fortress, forcing the Geonosians to surrender. The fortress was subsequently destroyed, and Rex, Skywalker, and Tano proceeded to the primary droid foundry where Poggle the Lesser was hiding. They encountered several droidicas, and Rex ordered Trooper Dra to fire the RPS-6 rocket launcher, blasting the destroyer droids to pieces. Jedi Generals Skywalker and Unduli, whose Padawan Barriss Offee had been assigned alongside Tano to plant explosives in the main reactor of the droid foundry, refused to leave until they had located their Padawans. The two young Jedi had been intercepted by Poggle and a Geonosian unit at the reactor, forcing them to use a super tank to destroy the power generator. The two Padawans used a super tank to destroy the power generator and were later discovered in the rubble by Rex and his men, reuniting with their masters. Poggle was captured by Skywalker, Kenobi, and Unduli, marking the Republic's dominion and victory over Geonosis. However, Skywalker would later resort to, let's call it, unconventional Jedi methods to extract information from Poggle on how to stop the mind-controlling brain worms that had overrun Tano's frigate. Chapter 14. Cut Lawquane and the Hunt for Grievous. In the second year of the Clone Wars, Rex accompanied Skywalker and Master Gallia to rescue Jedi Master Eth Koth in the Seleucami system. The Jedi Master had been held hostage by the part organic, part cybernetic General Grievous of the Separatist forces. Kenobi also joined the mission, and his role was to distract Grievous's forces and transmit the coordinates of his ship, which would ultimately lead them to where Master Koth was being held. Kenobi and Cody successfully sent the coordinates of General Grievous's Recusant-class light destroyer to Skywalker, who immediately departed to join the battle on Seleucami. He breached Grievous's destroyer dock by creating a hole in one of the command ship's hatches and boarded the vessel with Gallia, Rex, and his clone trooper unit. Master Koth was eventually rescued, but Kenobi, who had been dueling General Grievous, required transport off the ship, along with Gallia and Cody, before they became trapped inside. Kenobi had chased Grievous to his command ship, but the towering Kalish general had already abandoned it. Upon Kenobi's request for rescue, Skywalker quickly sprang into action and retrieved Gallia, Cody, another clone trooper, and Kenobi before the destroyer was struck by debris. The Republic forces had completed their primary objective, but Rex and his comrades had yet to capture the elusive, intimidating, wicked, and spider-limbed General Grievous. The Separatist general's ship was hit by debris and crash-landed on Seleucami. Kenobi, accompanied by Cody, along with Rex and his 501st contingent, landed on the planet and located the crash site of Grievous's ship, but the general was nowhere to be found in the rubble. Rex and his team were sent to search for escape pods, and Kenobi instructed Rex to contact him before engaging Grievous if they encountered him. Rex was later shot off his speeder by two commando droids and rendered unconscious. His team members, Jesse, Hardcase, and Kix, managed to finish off the attackers and carried him to an Eopie barn owned by a Twi'lek farmer named Sue, who agreed to let them tend to Rex in her barn. Rex eventually regained consciousness and ordered his troopers to continue the mission while he remained behind to recover. While Rex slept, he was startled awake by a sound but pretended to remain asleep as he discreetly reached for his blaster pistol. A figure approached, bearing the face of a clone trooper. The man was Sue's husband, and he introduced himself as Cut Lawquane, a farmer, though Rex immediately saw him as a deserter. Over dinner, the two debated the clone's right to individuality. Rex maintained that he had chosen to serve the Republic of his own free will, while Lawquane respected his stance but explained how he was ambushed during the First Battle of Geonosis, an event that led him to meet his wife, Sue. Rex later sympathized with Lawquane and found common ground with him. When Lawquane's children, Jek and Shaiya, were playing outside, they encountered commando droids and ran home to warn their parents. Rex was handed a blaster by Lawquane, and together they managed to eliminate the Separatist droids. The next morning, Rex departed to reunite with Jedi General Kenobi, assuring Lawquane and Sue that their secret was safe with him. While on a peace mission to Coruscant, Rex was attacked by assassin probe droids sent by a splinter group seeking to kill Duchess Satine, whom he was accompanying. With the help of his comrades, Skywalker, Kenobi, and Cody, he destroyed the droids and safely transported the Duchess to Coruscant aboard her ship. Chapter 15. Battle of Kamino. From an intercepted transmission between the part-cybernetic Separatist General Grievous and the pale-skinned, yellow-eyed Asajj Ventress, the Republic forces discovered that Grievous was planning to lead an invasion on Kamino. Rex, Skywalker, Kenobi, and Cody gathered aboard the Resolute to examine the transmission. Grievous had once plotted an invasion of Kamino in the past, but failed. Rex and Cody saw the Separatist General's renewed plan as personal, and Rex immediately assembled their 501st troops to brief them on their new mission. In Tipoca City, the capital of Kamino, Rex, Skywalker, Kenobi, and Cody met with Jedi General Shaak Ti and Prime Minister Lama Su at the military complex. They relayed to them the impending invasion by the Separatist army. Within a short time, Grievous's troops appeared, challenging the Republic's orbital blockade. The Separatist leaders, Grievous and Ventress, used their crafts to deploy hundreds of droid troops into Tipoca City and attack key cloning facilities. Recognizing that the Separatists' primary target would be the DNA archive, Skywalker and Kenobi positioned themselves to guard it. Rex, Cody, Echo, Fives, and 99 encouraged the young clone cadets to join them in defending their home. The cadets played a vital role, providing the clone troopers with additional firepower. 99 was shot in the back by relentless battle droids as he attempted to retrieve explosives from the armory. Rex had insisted that 99 remain undercover, but his rash decision led to his death. The Republic forces ultimately gained victory over the Separatist army, forcing General Grievous and Asajj Ventress to retreat. For their dauntless display in battle, Rex and Cody promoted Echo and Fives to the rank of Advanced Recon Commando. Chapter 16. Prison Break on the Citadel. The Citadel, a dreaded prison station on the planet Lola Sayu, was originally designed by the Jedi Order many years before the Clone Wars to contain rogue Jedi Knights. The Citadel had since been claimed by the Confederacy of Independent Systems, which had conquered Lola Sayu, subjecting the sulfurous planet to its rule. Rex, Cody, Fives, Echo, and other elite clone troopers on their team were assigned to assist Jedi Masters Skywalker and Kenobi on a rescue mission to Lola Sayu to retrieve another key Jedi of the Republic forces, Even Piell. Even Piell possessed information about the coordinates of the Strategic Nexus Route, a secret hyperspace corridor connecting the core territories of the Galactic Republic to the heart of Separatist space. This knowledge made Jedi Master Even Piell a valuable asset to both the Republic and the Confederacy. Saving the Jedi Master was going to be one of Rex's most difficult missions, as Even Piell was held captive at the Citadel, a facility so secure that no team had ever infiltrated it successfully. To evade the Citadel's lifeform scanners, Rex and his comrades were encased in carbonite. Upon arrival to Lola Sayu, Rex, Cody, and their elite team joined Skywalker, Tano, and Kenobi. As they proceeded with their rescue mission, one of the troopers, Charger, lost his footing on a balcony and fell down a cliff, triggering an electro-mine that killed him instantly. This immediately alerted the Citadel's warden, Osi Sobek, a ruthless and cold-hearted Fendian officer. The Republic forces made their way into the prison, avoiding battle droid patrols and disabling surveillance systems. They eventually found Jedi Master Even Piell in his holding cell, rescuing him from being tortured by a lab assistant. Piell revealed to Skywalker that he only held half of the Nexus route coordinates, while the other half was in the possession of his Republic Navy captain, Wilhuff Tarkin, whom they would also need to rescue. Rex and his team encountered droid commandos while retrieving Tarkin and the clone troopers who had been captured alongside him, but they succeeded in defeating the droids and freeing their comrades. While attempting to escape, Rex and his comrades were confronted by a unit of B-1 battle droids and LM-432 crab droids. Captain Rex and Tarkin took cover as Skywalker and Tano deflected the droid blaster fire. They regrouped with other clone troopers to follow a backup plan, since Kenobi and the expected shuttle had not arrived yet. Eventually, they rejoined Kenobi at his position. Kenobi, Piell, and a squad of clone troopers fought against Sobek's droids to reclaim their shuttle. Rex, Skywalker, Tano, and Tarkin later joined Kenobi, but they were forced to retreat from the Citadel when a droid-manned blaster turret fired upon their shuttle, which Echo was attempting to commandeer. The explosion from the blast killed Echo and destroyed the shuttle. Upon contacting the Jedi High Council, Jedi Master Plo Koon was dispatched for retrieval. Rex and the remaining Republic forces journeyed to a small island surrounded by a lake of lava, designated as their extraction point. They were soon assaulted by Sobek's relentless forces, but R2-D2 had reprogrammed several battle droids to delay the enemy while Rex and his comrades descended a cliff to safety. Unwilling to relent, Sobek sent a pack of hunters, aggressive, lethal Anuba trackers, after them. The Republic forces managed to defeat both the pursuing droids and the Anuba pack, though Jedi Master PL was mortally wounded during the encounter. Before drawing his final breath, PL entrusted the half of the coordinates in his possession to Tano. The Republic forces took a moment to honor the fallen Jedi Councilor's sacrifice. As they continued toward the extraction point, Sobek and a unit of stat-mounted droid commandos launched a final assault, attempting to reclaim his prisoners. Rex and his men fought back fiercely, and Tano ultimately killed Sobek when he tried to murder Tarkin in a desperate bid to keep the Nexus route coordinates from reaching the Republic. Moments later, Jedi Master Plo Koon's gunship arrived, rescuing the surviving Republic forces from an ongoing horde of crab droids. Chapter 17. The Terrors of Umbara. When the Republic learned of Umbara's defection to the Confederacy, they wasted no time in launching a full-scale invasion. Umbara, a perpetually dark planet inhabited by a species of pale near-humans, became a major focus in the war between the Republic and the Separatists. The Umbarans had been producing highly advanced military weaponry for the Republic's enemies. Rex and the 501st Elite Troopers joined Generals Skywalker and Kenobi, while young Jedi Tano and Offee broke through the Separatist blockade surrounding the Dark Planet. Rex, Skywalker, and the 501st Legion focused on attacking the enemy's reinforcements from the northern side of the city, while Kenobi and Cody, joined by Jedi Generals Saesee Tiin and Pong Krell, along with their troops, were tasked with assaulting the Umbaran capital from the south. Joined by an old friend, Advanced Recon Commando 5s, Rex and Skywalker, along with the 501st Troopers such as Hardcase, Jesse, Dogma, and Tup, stormed the Umbaran forces. During one of the battles, the clone troops were ambushed when an enemy soldier released a deadly millicreep droid. Rex and Skywalker responded quickly, calling in an airstrike and cutting through the creature. In the midst of the fighting, Supreme Chancellor Palpatine and the Jedi High Council ordered Skywalker to return to Coruscant, assigning Jedi General Krell to take his place. Though Skywalker expressed concern about leaving his men, Rex assured him that they would have the Umbarans under Republic control before his return. Upon being introduced to Jedi Master Krell, Rex recognized that the new commander was a tough leader, and he anticipated some friction between them. Regardless, he prepared his troops to follow Krell's lead toward the capital. At one point, Rex's men grew exhausted after marching continuously for 12 straight hours without rest. Rex was much concerned and tried to intervene after being approached by their unit medic, Kix, who suggested that the soldiers needed to stop and recover. However, Krell was unyielding and emphasized the urgency of their mission, insisting that their success would determine the success of other Republic forces. When they finally reached the road leading directly to the capital, Rex and Fives confronted Krell after one of the general's poorly planned assaults had cost several clones their lives. Rex's own tactical adjustments, on the other hand, helped the Republic inflict heavy casualties on the enemy, forcing them to retreat, though the Umbarans soon regrouped and renewed their assault. As the Republic forces advanced under General Krell's command, Kenobi requested their assistance in securing the station where his unit was positioned. Once again, Krell employed tactics that Rex and Fives found reckless, but Rex calmed his men, especially Fives, reminding them that their duty was to follow orders, even at the expense of their lives. Heavy cannon fire from the enemy rained down on the 501st, resulting in more casualties. With Krell refusing to alter his strategy, Rex continued to lose soldiers. Acting independently, Hardcase and Fives, working with Rex's support, managed to destroy the Umbaran heavy cannons. Later, Rex reported to Krell how many clones had died to achieve their narrow victory, but Krell dismissed his concern, stating coldly that Rex did not understand the price of success. Rex's disagreement with Krell deepened when the general ordered the 501st to march through a gorge that would leave them fully exposed to enemy fire. Unwilling to risk more unnecessary losses, Rex authorized Fives and Hardcase to infiltrate the Umbaran airbase that was supplying the capital. Their mission succeeded. They used Zinwa's 33 Umbaran starfighters to destroy the enemy's mobile heavy cannon. When Krell learned of the unauthorized mission, he furiously confronted Rex about why he had permitted it. Despite Rex's explanation and defense of his men, Krell had Fives, Jesse, and Hardcase placed in the brig. He later ordered Rex and the others to execute the trio for insubordination. Rex, caring much about his troopers, refused, arguing that these troopers had acted out of loyalty and bravery despite Krell's reckless tactics. While this conflict was unfolding, Rex and Krell received a transmission from a trooper claiming that they had been ambushed by Umbarans disguised as clones. Rex and his men investigated and were shocked to discover that the attackers were indeed clones, tricked into fighting their own brothers. Soon after, Rex learned from the dying trooper Waxer of the 212th Attack Battalion that it was actually General Krell who had orchestrated the deception and ordered the attack. Rex and his men moved to arrest Krell, but the general escaped into the jungle. After a fierce pursuit, they managed to stun and capture him, but not before he killed several clones. During Rex's confrontation with him, Krell revealed that he intended to defect to the Separatist and become Count Dooku's new apprentice, ruling Umbara in exchange for his betrayal. In the aftermath, Dogma, one of Rex's troopers, executed Krell and was subsequently taken into custody. Master Kenobi and the 212th successfully captured the capital, defeating the last Umbaran holdouts and bringing the campaign on the planet to an end. Despite the victory, Rex was left wondering what awaited him and his brothers once the war finally ended. Chapter 18: Saving Kiros and Ahsoka's Departure. Kiros was a planet filled with vast green valleys and flowing waterfalls. This beautiful world was assaulted by the Confederacy and forced to submit to their rule. After Master Yoda's final communication with the planet's governor, Gupad Roshti, he dispatched Rex and his team to accompany Skywalker, Kenobi, and Ahsoka in liberating the planet. Rex and Kenobi infiltrated the Separatist headquarters after destroying a group of AATs while riding bark speeders. The Republic forces captured Commander Dinar and used his YV-865 Aurora-class freighter to travel to Zygeria. Rex and Kenobi were later captured during their attempt to rescue Roshti. They tried to escape, but were taken to Kadavo and forced to work in the facility's mines. Skywalker, Tano, and Plo Koon arrived to rescue Rex, Kenobi, and Roshti after Count Dooku ordered their execution. After Skywalker impaled the male Zygerian overseer and keeper of the Kadavo slave facility, Rex and Kenobi escaped aboard a gunship before the entire complex was destroyed. Cato Neimoidia, another planet where Rex and the Jedi generals were assigned to protect and defend against the Separatists, was the Purse world of the Neimoidians, a humanoid species. After their successful mission on Cato Neimoidia, Rex returned to Coruscant, where he worked closely with Skywalker to defend and prove Tano's innocence. Tano had been accused of bombing the Jedi Temple hangar, an explosion that killed 6 Jedi Knights, several members of the Temple's maintenance crew, and numerous clone troopers. Rex, Skywalker, and Commander Fox searched for Tano after receiving reports that she had escaped from her prison cell. It all felt wrong to Rex. He did not believe, nor could he imagine, that his friend was responsible for such a crime. When Commander Fox discovered the bodies of 3 clone troopers killed by lightsaber wounds, he concluded that Tano was the culprit and ordered his men to shoot her on sight. However, Rex and Skywalker countered the order, with Rex arguing that Tano would never have done such a thing. Painfully, Rex was forced to report that his friend Tano had killed 3 troopers, classifying her as armed and dangerous based on the evidence at hand. Though Tano managed to evade capture for a time, she was eventually found in the Coruscant underworld, where she was stunned and taken into custody. Tano was later expelled from the Jedi Order to face trial before a Republic military tribunal. Skywalker later discovered that it was Barriss Offee who had carried out the bombing. The Jedi Padawan had fallen to the dark side of the Force and committed the act out of displeasure over the Jedi Order's role in leading the Galactic Republic's war against the Separatists. Even though Skywalker uncovered the truth and cleared Tano's name, she ultimately chose to leave the Jedi Order. Rex couldn't stop Ahsoka, but he respected her decision even though it hurt to see his friend and ally leave the way she did. Chapter 19: Fives. Ringo Vinda, a planet located in the galaxy's mid-rim, was attacked by Confederate forces led by Admiral Trench, who seized control of its space station. During the battle, Clone Trooper Tup unexpectedly shot and killed Jedi General Tiplar. Unaware of his actions, Tup began exhibiting erratic behavior, at times lashing out at Jedi with unprovoked aggression. Tup was taken to Kamino for examination, but was temporarily captured by Separatist forces. After he was recovered, Fives, being Tup's friend, requested permission from Rex to remain on Kamino with him, and Rex agreed. When Rex returned with the 501st Legion, he learned that Fives had been labeled a fugitive for allegedly attempting to assassinate the Vice-Chancellor. Rex and Skywalker, however, managed to meet with him in secret to understand what had driven his actions. Unsure whether they would believe him, Fives trapped them inside a ray shield and revealed that artificially engineered organic inhibitor chips had been implanted in the clones during their early development. These chips, he explained, were designed to make the clones obey orders without question once activated. Fives further claimed that the Chancellor himself was behind the conspiracy. During their conversation, Commander Fox and a unit of Coruscant guards arrived to arrest Fives under the Chancellor's orders. In a desperate attempt to defend himself, Fives seized one of Rex's blasters but was fatally shot in the ensuing chaos. Rex held Fives in his arms as his life slowly faded away. Holding him there, he hears the last words of Fives, telling him that finally he was free. The flashes came through Rex and tears ran down his cheeks as he held his dying brother. Though shaken and uncertain about Fives' warning, Rex filed a report regarding the chips, but his concerns were dismissed, and the records were sealed within the Republic archives. Chapter 20, Clone Force 99. During the Battle of Anaxes, Rex and Cody teamed up with a special group of clone troopers known as Clone Force 99, otherwise called the Bad Batch, composed of Sergeant Hunter, a clone with enhanced sensory abilities, Wrecker, the giant demolitions expert with an enhanced muscular physique, Crosshair, an expert sniper with acute eyesight and deadly accuracy, and Tech, their equipment specialist with heightened cognitive abilities and intelligence. The Separatist forces, led by Admiral Trench, had been countering every tactic and strategy Rex employed. This led him to believe that Echo was still alive, but had been captured and used to anticipate and counter his combat strategies. Rex and his team proceeded to infiltrate a cyber center on Anaxes, where they discovered an audio signal originating from Skako Minor that contained Echo's clone trooper number. Skako Minor was the homeworld of the lanky humanoid Polytech species. Skywalker joined Rex on this mission after speaking with his wife, Senator Padme Amidala. While Skywalker spoke with her, Rex helped conceal his whereabouts when General Kenobi inquired. Rex and Skywalker were later joined by Clone Force 99 for the mission. Upon landing on Skako Minor, they encountered the Polytech people and persuaded them to release Skywalker after he was captured by a flying reptile and taken to their village. The Republic forces then advanced toward the Techno-Union facility as they continued tracing Echo's signal. Along the way, Rex and Crosshair got into a fight after Crosshair called Echo just another Reg, provoking Rex to attack him. Skywalker intervened and broke up the fight, allowing them to continue their journey. They eventually located Echo inside a stasis chamber after defeating the D1 series aerial battle droids controlled by the Techno-Union leader, Wat Tambor. After battling more of Wat Tambor's forces, the Republic team returned to the Polytech village, where the Polytechs joined them in fighting off the droids sent to attack their home. Echo, who had been rescued but was now equipped with several prosthetic body parts, presented Rex with a plan to infiltrate Admiral Trench's dreadnought and feed the Confederacy false information to secure victory on Anaxes. The plan was executed successfully. They deceived Admiral Trench and his forces, but the Admiral activated a time bomb, which was later deactivated by Mace Windu with Echo's assistance. At the end of the successful mission, Echo made the decision to join the Bad Batch, a choice that Rex fully supported. Chapter 21, Order 66. As the Clone Wars gradually came to a close, Rex and Skywalker won the battle against Separatist forces on Umbara. Following this victory, and the Republic's success in pushing back the Separatists across the galaxy, they received word that the former Sith Lord Maul had taken control of Mandalore. While now, during their assignment to deliver the captured Maul, after he, Tano, and Bo-Katan Kryze had regained control of Mandalore, Rex, stationed on the bridge of the Star Destroyer, spoke with Tano as they entered hyperspace. Tano had returned only to seek the Jedi Order's help in retaking Mandalore. Rex, immensely glad to see his old friend, along with other troopers, had even prepared a special unit for her, bearing her facial orange markings as the emblem on their helmets in their honor. Aboard the Venator-class Star Destroyer, the Tribunal, Tano confided in Rex that the Jedi, who were meant to be keepers of the peace, had become soldiers. Though Rex tried to make her see the good that had come from the war and persuaded her to rejoin him, she declined. Shortly after, through a hologram, the Chancellor, Darth Sidious, issued Order 66, commanding the clone troopers to execute all Jedi, and giving Rex a special directive to eliminate the former Jedi Ahsoka Tano. When Tano entered the room, she sensed something was wrong with her former master, Skywalker. Joined by two other troopers, Rex trembled and dropped his helmet before attempting to shoot Tano, even as fragments of Five's warnings about the inhibitor chips resurfaced in his mind. The only sentence he managed to utter before the chip took over was, "Fives, find him," before opening fire on her. Under the chip's control, Rex was like a changed person. All he could think about was how to kill Ahsoka and the best ways to accomplish this. Having his men set up, he set out to hunt her. Tano managed to defend herself and, with the help of her astromech droid, rendered Rex unconscious. She then carried his body to the medical bay and ordered the droids to surgically remove his inhibitor chip. Rex regained consciousness just in time to assist her in fending off other clones who came to attack. Meanwhile, Maul had destroyed the Star Destroyer's hyperdrive, fatally damaging the ship and killing many clone troopers. As Tano and Rex reached the main hangar, they faced ARC Trooper Jesse and a large force of troopers blocking their escape. Rex motioned to Ahsoka that they should fight their way through, regardless of whether some of the clones got hurt or not. However, Ahsoka urged him not to, even though she knew he cared deeply about her safety. Fearing that they might not make it out and that his dear friend could be executed, Rex voiced his concern that the clones outside were beyond reasoning and would not hesitate to kill them both. Sensing the depth of emotion in Rex's voice through his helmet, Ahsoka reached out and gently removed it. The dilemma and pain Rex felt brought tears streaming down his cheeks. Recognizing his sincere emotions, Ahsoka comforted Rex, her true friend and companion. Together, they fought their way out and escaped aboard a Republic Y-Wing bomber. Rex and Tano landed on a nearby Mandalorian moon, but before departing, Tano dropped both of her lightsabers at the crash site to make it appear as though she and Rex had perished in the wreck. Chapter 22: Resistance Against the Empire. Before parting ways, Rex and Tano traveled to Naboo, where Tano secretly attended Senator Padme Amidala's funeral. Rex kept a low profile, as Imperial records indicated that he had been killed in action. However, Tano was presumed alive. Returning to Seleucami to meet his old friend Cut Lawquane and his family, Rex told them about Order 66 and the inhibitor chips, but did not reveal where he would be going next. A day later, Clone Force 99 arrived at the Lawquane farmstead, and Cut informed them about Rex and all he had said concerning Order 66. Rex began building his own resistance against the Empire to help his clone brothers. Having recruited the two sisters Tano had befriended during their mission to help Bo-Katan Kryze retake Mandalore, Rex tasked Trace and Rafa Martez with retrieving the head of a T-Series tactical droid, as the data stored in it could be used against Imperial strategies. During their mission, the sisters encountered the Bad Batch, who were unaffected by Order 66. Hunter provided the sisters with a copy of the data they needed after the droid's head was destroyed. They later contacted Rex to inform him that their mission was successful and that they knew the current location of the Bad Batch. Rex traveled to Ord Mantell, a planet home to many different species, to find the Bad Batch. He located them at Sid's Parlor, a bar and gambling den run by the Trandoshan Sidaran Sid Scaleback, whom the squad worked for. Rex was welcomed by the troopers, reunited with Echo, and introduced to their newest member, Omega. However, upon learning that they had not removed their inhibitor chips, Rex convinced the elite squad to meet him on Bracca so he could help them do so. When the Bad Batch arrived on Bracca, Rex led them to a scrapped Star Destroyer where they could access the necessary tools to remove the chips. Wrecker was to go first, but his chip activated mid-procedure, causing him to attack his brothers. The heavily built trooper was eventually subdued after a struggle, and his chip was removed. The others underwent the procedure as well, successfully removing their chips. When it was done, Rex and Hunter said their goodbyes, with Hunter assuring Rex that he could always reach out for help if needed. On Daro, a terrestrial planet, Gregor, a clone commando and old friend of Rex, attempted to desert the Empire while training the first generation of stormtrooper recruits. Before being captured, he managed to send a distress signal to Rex. Unable to mount a rescue alone, Rex sought the help of the Bad Batch. Although Hunter expressed doubts about the mission's success after analyzing the Imperial base, Echo convinced the team to proceed, reminding them of his own rescue on Skako Minor. They found Gregor and brought him back to Ord Mantell, but during their escape, Hunter was captured and taken to Kamino, where he was held by Crosshair, who had joined the Empire. Upon receiving a distress signal from her brothers, Omega activated the training droids in the facility where Hunter was imprisoned, enabling them to free him and capture Crosshair as well. Another clone trooper named Slip contacted Rex, as he also wanted to leave Imperial service and escape the planet. When Rex returned to Coruscant, he witnessed Senator Chuchi being attacked by another clone. He saved the senator by stunning the attacker and decided to question him later at a repair shop owned by his associates, Trace and Rafa Martez. However, the clone trooper used a suicide shocker to kill himself before Rex could get any answers. Senator Chuchi, who recognized Rex from the Clone Wars, informed him that there was a conspiracy surrounding Slip and the destruction of Tipoca City on Kamino. She also told him about the Imperial Defense Recruitment Bill, which would allow the Empire to decommission clones without offering any form of compensation or pension. To help Slip, Rex followed the troopers' directions on how to obtain evidence that could expose Vice Admiral Rampart's involvement. This led Rex to contact the Bad Batch once again for assistance. Together, they succeeded in retrieving the evidence, resulting in Rampart's arrest. However, the defense recruitment bill was still approved after Emperor Palpatine delivered a speech, leaving Rex to wonder how the Emperor always managed to stay one step ahead of them. Eventually, Echo decided to stay with Rex and support his cause. Rex's underground resistance had one main goal: to free and provide shelter to disillusioned and defected clone troopers. His resistance network was called the Clone Underground, and Rex and Echo were joined by several disillusioned clones who began to fight the Empire and liberate their clone brothers. Their hideout was located on the wild space planet Teth, and they also operated a repair shop on Coruscant. The Clone Underground network consisted of many other troopers and members. They had clone contacts and informants, one of whom was Slip. Senator Rio Chuchi, who served in the Imperial Senate, also joined their cause. On various missions and occasions, they rescued many of their brothers who later joined the Resistance Network, including Gregor, Nemec, Fireball, Greer, Samson, and Captain Hauser. Rex continued to receive help from the exceptional Clone Force 99 troopers, though only at different times when their assistance was required. During a mission to Pantora to protect the fugitive Senator Avi Singh, Rex, Hauser, Nemec, Samson, and Greer were attacked by a clone assassin, CX-1, who threw a bomb at Singh and Chuchi as they discussed how more and more people were turning against Emperor Palpatine. Although CX-1 was eventually captured, the team lost one of their comrades, Greer. They brought the assailant to their hideout for interrogation, hoping to learn the location of Tanta's base, but he remained unyielding. One of the members of Clone Force 99, Crosshair, had previously been imprisoned on the base, and Hauser suggested they contact him for help. Meanwhile, another assassin, CX-2, was sent to Teth to eliminate CX-1. Upon infiltrating the monastery, he spotted Omega, a young clone and key member of Clone Force 99, who had become a high-priority target of the Empire due to her M-count levels. CX-2 breached the Bomar Monastery, where the Clone Underground was based, killing Fireball, Nemec, Samson, and many others. Rex, Hauser, and Clone Force 99 fled into the jungle but were later found by Clone Commander Wolf and his troopers, who had been sent by the Empire to assist CX-2 as Rex's group attempted to escape aboard their ship, the Remora, piloted by Echo and Gregor. When Rex removed his helmet, Wolf was stunned. He had long believed Rex was killed in action on a Mandalorian moon during the crash of the Tribunal. Rex appealed to Wolf to join their cause, trying to make him see that the Empire was wrong to hunt a child. Seeing Wolf conflicted, Rex said softly, "As your brother, I'm asking you to do the right thing." Moved by his words, Wolf ordered his men to stand down, allowing Rex and the rogue clones to leave the planet. The Clone Underground was dissolved, and its surviving members went into hiding. Chapter 23. A new chapter in the fight against the Empire. Many years later, but before the Battle of Yavin, Rex, Commander Wolf, and Gregor lived in a modified ATTE on the desert planet of Selos. Tano had been trying to contact Rex to obtain information about abandoned bases that the Rebellion could use in their mission against the Empire. However, her transmissions went unanswered, as Wolf kept them hidden, believing the Empire would find them if they responded. Eventually, Tano sent a group of rebels, Jedi Purge survivor Kanan Jarrus and his apprentice Ezra Bridger, to find Rex. When the rebels encountered Rex's comrades, a fight broke out, as Kanan believed they were a threat. Rex arrived in time to stop the conflict, and Ezra mentioned that they had been sent by Tano. Realizing they were allies, Rex quickly reassured his brothers and provided the rebels with a list of potential base locations. Although Ezra encouraged Rex to join the rebellion, he refused, saying his days as a soldier were over. Soon after, Rex discovered that Wolf, acting out of fear and distrust of the Jedi, had contacted the Empire about the rebels' presence, thinking he was protecting his brothers. Kanan and Ezra later returned to help Rex and his comrades fight off the Imperial forces, prompting Rex to finally join the rebellion. He then left Selos, reuniting with Tano and beginning a new chapter in the fight against the Empire. Chapter 24. Missions with the Ghost Crew. Rex was now part of the Phoenix Rebel Cell and piloted a TIE fighter that had been repainted by Sabine Wren. While Kanan was teaching Ezra a levitation lesson, Rex discovered that Sabine and Chopper had been playing a trick on Ezra by locking Chopper's legs, preventing him from being lifted. Ezra became upset when this was revealed, but Rex told the young apprentice about a Jedi general he once fought alongside, someone who combined the Force with his wits. Kanan replied that Ezra had wits, but no discipline. Their disagreement led to an ongoing debate about how best to train Ezra. To resolve their differences, Rex, Kanan, and the astromech droid were sent to the Del Zenith system to rescue Ezra and Commander Jun Sato, who had been captured by an Imperial interditer. The mission required Rex and Kanan to disguise themselves as stormtroopers. Although Kanan was uneasy about working with Rex, the two proceeded with the mission and soon discovered that Ezra had already escaped and locked up his captors. They moved to retrieve Commander Sato and his crew, but were attacked by stormtroopers on their way out. Rex was captured and brought before the commanding officer of the interditer, Admiral Brom Titus. Titus attempted to win Rex over by offering him immunity in exchange for convincing his comrades to surrender, but Rex refused and was tortured by interrogator droids. Kanan later returned to rescue Rex with Chopper's help, who had sabotaged the interditer's gravity well projectors to ensure their escape. Rex was grateful to Kanan for saving him, and the mission helped Kanan finally overcome his distrust of clone troopers. On the planet Geonosis, Rex joined the Ghost crew to investigate an Imperial construction module. Being familiar with Geonosis, Rex was shocked when Chopper detected no signs of life on the planet. Ezra sensed that all life on Geonosis had been wiped out. When they landed, they realized they had fallen into a trap set by Imperial Security Bureau agent Kallus. After fighting off Imperial forces and freeing captured rebels from the construction module, Rex and his comrades began searching for Zeb. Meanwhile, Zeb and Kallus had crash-landed on Bahrain, a moon of Geonosis. The two were forced to work together to fend off Bonzami predators. After overcoming the creatures, Zeb activated his transponder along with Kallus and was rescued by his crew. Rex was later made overseer of operations at Chopper Base on Atollon, ensuring communication was maintained with Tano while she traveled with Ezra, Kanan, and Chopper to Malachor. The purpose of their mission was to find a way to defeat the Sith. During the mission, Tano and Kanan fought Inquisitors and reluctantly formed an alliance with Maul, a former Sith apprentice, to obtain a Sith holocron that contained knowledge on how to destroy the Sith. After defeating the Inquisitors, Maul turned on Kanan, blinding him with his lightsaber. Shortly afterward, Darth Vader arrived and Tano chose to stay behind to face him. When Kanan and Ezra returned, Rex, full of sorrow, bowed his head, believing he had lost Tano. Rex, Kanan, Ezra, Chopper, and Zeb went on a mission to Agamar to find proton bombs as they were running low on supplies. They discovered the bombs in a munitions depot but were trapped in a ray shield and stunned when they approached it. When the rebels woke up, they realized they had been captured by a super tactical droid named Kalani. Rex tried to convince Kalani that the Clone Wars were over. Eventually, Ezra made a bargain with the droid. If they managed to reach the command center, Kalani would allow them to take all the proton bombs in the hangar. After defeating the first wave of battle droids, they faced droidicas. Rex managed to disable one using his helmet before the team made their way into Kalani's command center. However, Kalani refused to acknowledge their victory and prepared to execute Rex, but Ezra intervened, convincing both Rex and Kalani to set aside their differences. At that moment, Imperial forces arrived on Agamar, and Ezra persuaded Kalani that the Empire was the true successor of the Old Republic, prompting him to assist them in their escape. The rebels ultimately escaped safely, and although they failed to secure the proton bombs, they obtained a new transport for the Ghost. Chapter 25: Battle of Atollon. In the Battle of Atollon, Grand Admiral Thrawn discovered the location of Chopper Base and launched an assault on the Atollon system. Rex and Zeb manned the guns aboard the Ghost and managed to activate a prototype deflector shield generator built by Sabine Wren, creating a protective barrier above Chopper Base and the other rebel ships. However, the rebel forces were eventually forced to retreat due to the heavy attacks from Thrawn's fleet, resulting in many casualties. Rex, Zeb, and Kanan reunited and were later joined by Hera, General Dodonna, and AP-5. As they attempted to reach the Ghost, they were surrounded by Thrawn and his Death Troopers, who intended to take them prisoner. Kanan's ally Bendu, a Force-sensitive entity-like being on the planet Atollon, appeared just in time to save them. Summoning a powerful thunderstorm, he gave Rex and his comrades the opportunity they needed to escape. Chapter 26: Liberation of Lothal. Rex was later joined by his brothers Wolf and Gregor, along with other allies, on a mission to infiltrate the Dome, also known as the Imperial Command Center. Disguised as a stormtrooper, Rex led the infiltration. Grand Admiral Thrawn, aboard his flagship Chimera, began bombarding the capital city, prompting Ezra to offer himself in surrender. Ignoring the objections of Rex and Hera, Ezra escaped aboard a patrol transport to confront Thrawn on the Chimera. Sabine devised a plan to restart the dome's shield generators by recapturing the north and south power terminals. Hondo Ohnaka and Ketsu Onyo joined Rex's team to retake the north power terminal, but during the mission, Gregor was shot in the chest and died in Rex's arms. Rex and the others watched in shock as Ezra summoned a pod of Purgil that carried him, Thrawn, and the Chimera into an unknown region of space. After the rebels successfully lifted the dome into the air, they destroyed the Imperial garrison on Lothal, ending Imperial control over the planet. In the aftermath of their victory, General Syndulla instructed Rex to examine every star chart within Ezra's last known trajectory. They then received a pre-recorded message from the young Jedi thanking them for being his family and acknowledging that the choice he made had not been an easy one. Chapter 27: Endor. Years after the Battle of Atollon, Rex worked alongside various leaders of the rebellion and was promoted to the rank of Commander. He was also selected by General Han Solo and Major Bryn Durlin to join the strike team tasked with bringing down the Death Star's shield generator on the forest moon of Endor. On the planet, Rex reunited with R2-D2, and the two were overjoyed to see each other again as old comrades. During the Battle of Endor, Rex fought with a single purpose: to ensure Emperor Palpatine could never again harm his clone brothers or anyone else. Skywalker, now Darth Vader, ultimately redeemed himself and returned to the light side of the Force, defeating Palpatine to save his son, Luke Skywalker. However, Skywalker died after the battle, and Luke buried him on Endor. Even after the Battle of Endor, Captain Rex continued his fight against the remnants of the Galactic Empire.